Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're having a good Columbus Day. Today I'm here to review Triple H's DVD, Triple H, Thy Kingdom Come, which came out recently. It came out this year, and so I just wanted to give my review on it. I know I'm very, very late to give a review on this DVD. I know a lot of other people, thousands of other YouTube channels have already done a review on this DVD, but I just wanted to do a review of it on my channel. So, yeah, I'll get right into it. I bought this DVD at F.Y.E, For Your Entertainment, for about $20, and what was cool was that it came with wall decals, which are these, and the ones it have with it, hang on a second people, so the wall decals that came with this DVD, you have CM Punk, Triple H. Wait, make sure not. Okay. Sorry about that. The Rock. John Cena. And Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, so these wall decals came with the package. So I thought that was really cool, and, yeah, if you're looking, and one thing, I just want to give some advice to you guys. If you're ever looking to buy a WWE DVD, I suggest you go to F.Y.E. if you have an F.Y.E. store in your area, because, to be honest, I used to buy a ton of DVDs. I used to buy a ton of wrestling DVDs from Best Buy. And no offense to Best Buy or Target, but now they really fucked up, so they don't really have a lot of wrestling DVDs anymore. And when I went to F.Y.E., F.Y.E. had a ton of wrestling DVDs, and they have used wrestling DVDs as low as $6. So, and I mean, like I said, I bought this for $20, which I thought was a great deal for a new wrestling DVD. But anyways, let's get into the review, guys. I thought this was a pretty good DVD. I'll show you what the box looks like. So this is the front. Triple H, Thy Kingdom Come. Here's the side of it with the golden skull. Triple H, Thy Kingdom Come. This is what the back looks like on it. I'm not going to read all of what it says, but I'll give it 10 seconds here for you guys to read. And here he is right over here on his you know, his throne. His King of Kings throne, which I thought this was actually a pretty badass cover, and I do like the front cover of this. And then here's the inside. Here's this side with another golden skull king, and this is like all his documentary stuff. And those are his matches on that side. And then here's more matches over here. Let me open up this side. Here's Triple H with his Skull King ring. Here's what the disc looks like. I'll open up the discs in a second here for you guys. So there's disc 1. There's disc 2. And there's disc 3. And here, let me get these for you guys real quick. And then here's what the disc 1 thing looks like when the disc is off. Here's disc 2. And there's the third cover. And so, so I'm going to put these discs back in here real quick. And that's what the whole box looks like. Oh wait, hang on, one more thing I forgot to show you guys is they have something on the side here as well, right here. And that little scratch right there is because I was being a dumbass and I tried to open this box up with my car keys. So this is what the side of it looks like. Overall, though, guys, I thought this was a very good DVD by Triple H. Let me open up to the documentary side here. So basically, what they do is. And they had a ton of people talk for Triple H in this movie. They had his parents, they had Triple H's parents talk, during this documentary, they had in here, I'll just rattle off a ton of WWE superstar names that talked for this DVD. We had The Big Show, The Undertaker, Triple H himself, yeah, Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Pat Patterson, Michael Hayes. God, I know there's more than that. Oh, yeah, and we had Dave Bautista. We had Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I already said Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker and all those guys. But anyway, though, we had a ton of people talk for Triple H, though, in this DVD, which I thought was really cool. It was cool to see Batista in this DVD, as well as Brock Lesnar. I was really surprised to see Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it was pretty cool seeing The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. And also they had Stephanie McMahon. They had Stephanie McMahon, Linda McMahon, and Vince McMahon. And basically what they did was they talked about him growing up and him going to WCW, and then him becoming Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and then they had Mick Foley talk about him, and one thing that I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, I'm not going to spoil too much in this review, but the one thing that I thought interesting was that when Triple H and Stephanie McMahon had their together married storyline, what was funny was that when those two, before they really started dating in real life, or when they started to date in real life, what really shocked me is that the chairman, the chairman, Vince McMahon, approved of it. Mr. McMahon was fine with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H dating, and Linda McMahon wasn't, which really surprised me, as well as Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon was against it too, and they talked about how Triple H dating the boss's daughter in real life could be trouble for him. And another thing that surprised me was that when they had the clique of Kevin Nash, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and all those guys, what kind of surprised me was that they talked about how Triple H got a lot of heat because him and Shawn Michaels and all those guys, when Triple H started coming up, when Kevin Nash and one other guy went to WCW, when they all started hugging in the middle of the ring before Kevin Nash and them left, what was so funny was that they were all a bunch of heels, or some of them were heels and some of them were faces, and the company, WWE, was really pissed at them for doing this, and Triple H got a lot of heat, and just like Dolph Ziggler, Triple H got buried for a while, and he lost a lot of matches, and then when he finally came back up, he started winning a ton of titles, which I thought was pretty interesting, and yeah, and then they had D-Generation X, and they had DX versus the Nation, all this other stuff here, and they had Triple H's first injury and him returning at Madison Square Garden to thousands of fans screaming their heads off, which I thought was pretty damn cool to see. And then we had, then they had talked about him versus The Rock, and they talked about DX returning in 2006 and about how DX didn't live up to what it was in the Attitude Era because it was the PG era. But I kind of disagreed with them on this because, to me, the PG era of DX was when DX reunited for a third and final time in 2009. Because DX in 2006 I thought was still pretty Attitude Era. Because, I mean, they had a lot of homophobic stuff towards Mr. McMahon saying that he liked cock, and they had hot women showing their boobs to people, and all this other funny shit. Oh, and not to mention that they shoved people's faces into the well, yeah, I mean, they just did a ton of nasty shit in 2006. Like, they dumped shit on this tag team, and they shoved wrestlers' faces into the Big Show's ass, and just all this other nasty-ass shit. But, I mean, I gotta say, though, the 2006 DX was still as great as the Attitude Era DX, in my opinion. And what was kind of a bummer, though, for me, was that they didn't talk about the DX of 2009. They only talked about the DX of 2006. But anyway, and then they talked about Triple H's rivalry with Randy Orton in 2009, which I thought was pretty cool. And Triple H being on SmackDown in 2008, I think. And then, which I thought was really cool, was that they talked about The Undertaker versus Triple H for WrestleMania 27 and 28. And they also talked about how at WrestleMania 25, what was funny was that after the Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker match at WrestleMania 25, when Triple H and Randy Orton had their match at WrestleMania, they said about how the fans were stone dead quiet after that Undertaker Shawn Michaels match. So there was really no reaction for Randy Orton versus Triple H at WrestleMania 25 during their rivalry, and so they were all kind of mad about that and stuff. And then they talked about Triple H being in movies like Inside Out and The Chaperone. But then Triple H also said that he wasn't really much of a movie star. Triple H is not like The Rock. Triple H is simply a wrestler, but that he liked to be in a few movies, but mostly he just wanted to be a wrestler. He didn't want to be an actor. And they also had The Undertaker, and they talked about his chief operating officer duty. They talked about that with Triple H and all that other stuff. So all in all, I thought the documentary was very good. I really liked the documentary for this DVD. I thought the documentary was great. It had a lot of great stuff in there, and I liked all the wrestlers that I named off in this DVD. I thought that was very cool. Alright, now let me get some water real quick. Okay. And then we had the matches, and the matches were okay. I kind of wish they had more of a documentary for Triple H, or I wish they would have put in more matches. We had John Paul Levesque, which was his old name, versus Ricky Steamboat in 1994. I didn't really care much for that match. It wasn't very good. Then we had Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Dude Love. I did not care for that match. Then we had an Iron Man match for the WWE for the championship with The Rock versus Triple H with I think it was Shawn Michaels as the guest referee. And I thought this was a very good match between The Rock and Triple H. And then we had a no disqualification match between Triple H and Kurt Angle. That was also a good match. And we had a Backlash match with Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Undertaker and Kane. That was an alright match. Then we had Triple H versus Rob Van Dam, an okay match. Then this was also a very good match. We had the World Heavyweight Championship, a last man standing match. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, that was a good match. And then we had Ric Flair versus Triple H. I didn't care for that match. I did not care for Triple H versus King Booker, because this was Triple H's return from his second injury. And then we had a last man standing match for the championship, Triple H versus Randy Orton. That was good. We had a non-title match, Jeff Hardy versus Triple H. That was an okay match. And then we had, from 2009, Triple H versus Chris Jericho, and that was a pretty good match of when Triple H was with DX in 2009. So overall, though, guys, I thought this was a very good DVD. I kind of wish, though, that they put in more wrestling matches that were recent for Triple H. I mean, I know that he didn't wrestle a whole lot, but he did wrestle a little bit in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, and then he hasn't wrestled really at all this year. But I still kind of wish, though, that they had Triple H. I just wish that they had more matches. And then another thing that I did not like about this DVD was that they had no bonus features, like they did with some other DVDs, like CM Punk's, The Rock, and all that other stuff. They had no special features, bonus features, which I thought kind of sucked. But overall, though, I did enjoy the commentary for what it was, the documentary. I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed most of the matches. So I give this DVD a solid 7.75 out of 10 stars. Like my video, dislike my video, comment on my video, and subscribe.